We're the show that gives you entertainment, inspiration, information. Well, we have a young actor. He's a star on the rise. He's been in movies with Paul Sorvino from Goodfellas. He's been in movies with Ralph Macchio, The Karate Kid. He's a young star on the rise, and to interview him, our entertainment reporter, the one and only, Rocco Passafume, with a star on the rise. His name. Let's have a nice halftime Howie welcome for Aaron Delavilla.
Woo! Thank you very much, Howie. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
It's good lighting. We're good lighting here.
Yeah. No worries.
I don't need the mic.
But well, first thing I'd like to get off the back is what made you decide to go into acting?
Well, I was working with a ballet company, and I got injured, and I said, oh man, what do I do? I'll go into acting. So I found a dinner theater show on Craigslist, and that thing led to another. Yep.
Fantastic. You've already gotten some really fantastic opportunities. You worked with Ralph Macchio in a film, you worked with Paul Sorvino in a film. Tell us about those projects and what it was like working with those two actors.
I didn't personally get to work with Ralph Macchio. It was a small role, but I still got to be a part of the process, and it was a great film. That Paul Sorvino is also in that one. It's called Lost Cat Corona.
Right.
I did get to meet him at the after party, though. He's a great guy. Paul Sorvino, on the other hand, I didn't know who Paul Sorvino was when I first got into it, because it was one of the first films I did. And I got it off of a self-tape through my agent in Chicago when I was living in Chicago. And he was so down to earth, man. It was amazing. That's cool. I'm actually flying to Chicago this Tuesday to go see the premiere of the film. So they invited me as a guest to be a part of the whole thing. So that's very exciting. Yeah.
Tell us about the Orphans project that you worked on.
Yeah, I did a show out in Long Island called Orphans by the famous playwright Lyle Kessler. The show ran on Broadway with you had Alec Baldwin, you had Ben Foster, and Tom Sturridge. Now, originally, before Ben Foster came into the role, it was Shia LaBeouf who was playing the role that I played, Treat. It was well received by a few newspapers, and Lyle Kessler, the playwright, came out and saw it. Said it was one of the best productions he's ever seen.
I got to interrupt here. I heard your final scene was breathtaking. Folks, how would you like to hear Aaron do the final scene right here, right now? Are you ready?
I kind of wanted to do something else.
I want you to do the final scene from Orphans.
Well, that's the thing, is that it's so out of context that
you can do something
it doesn't really. It's literally so out of context that if you don't understand the play and where he's coming from. So literally, the final scene in Orphans is where Treat confronts his brother Philip because he's so afraid of Philip leaving him, because Treat, all his vulnerability, he masks under all of this rage. So he finally confronts his brother for the lies that Philip has been using, disguised as games that they would play between each other. There's this dance that they have with each other, and he just confronts him. And there's a lot of abandonment there. There's feeling of loss. Yeah, there's a lot in there. But I don't know. I wanted to do something a little different. But did you have any other questions, man?
The other question I have is, you got into film, you got into theater.
Yes.
Ever so briefly, tell us what medium you prefer.
I don't prefer either one over the other. They both have their special qualities that I enjoy very much. The process are a lot different.
You've gotten to be on Seth Meyers. What was that experience like?
Yeah, that was cool. So one of the agencies I worked with reached out to me and was like, okay, this is weird the way the universe works, is because a few days before I was sending off my headshot and resume to several places via email, and one of them was NBC, which was where Late Night with Seth Meyers is. Right. And the agent reaches out to me and said, hey, would you like to work background for this little comedy skit? And I said, you know what, why not? It's going to be a Late Night with Seth. The agent comes back and says they want to book you as a principal for the comedy skit. So I was like, wow. So I can talk about it now. It was a mock of Mad Max. You guys see Mad Max Fury Road?
Yeah.
It took home 6 Oscars.
Incredible movie.
6 Oscars. Incredible, yeah. They dressed us up as war boys, skull caps and everything. You know, they dressed us up as war boys, and working with Seth was great. Working with the production value, Seth was very funny. It was a pleasurable experience, and the way we were treated as well. And to be in that atmosphere where you walk in and literally you see all the Saturday night pictures of the celebrities, and they have their, thanks so much. It was a pleasure. There are no handwriting and stuff. You really felt a part of something greater than yourself.
That's fantastic. Where do you see yourself in your career in the next couple of years? What do you hope to achieve?
Well, it's all up to God. It's all about His path. It's all about His plan. I know what I want to achieve. The sky's the limit, really. And, yeah.
Well, I have to say that it's been a fantastic privilege having you on. We hope to see you back maybe in the future. But, you've had a great career. Let's hope we'll see more of you in the future. Take care, man.
I'm a very young actor, so I feel like it's exciting to learn something new every day, and I believe that learning a lot about myself through self-development, acting is almost therapeutic. I mean, art is therapeutic, whether it's singing, dancing, or whatever.
Well, fantastic. We definitely hope for more wonderful things to come from you down the pike, and it's Aaron Delaville, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go.
I didn't go to the moon. I think I went much further. For there's a thing of time, and time is the greatest distance between two places. It wasn't long after that I was turned down a $40,000 scholarship to go to NYU for dance because I couldn't find a cosigner on my loan, that I moved to Nashville, and I left Virginia. I traveled on in my father's footsteps. And I was attempting to find something in how fast I moved. But that something kept escaping me. And there was always this thing that followed behind me. And I knew it was always behind me. And it always persisted behind me. And I just couldn't escape that. Sometimes it would be a familiar bit of music. Sometimes it was a transparent piece of glass. Perhaps I was walking along some strange city at night in some godforsaken place, and I passed the lighted window of a shop where perfume is sold. And the window is filled with pieces of colored glass. These tiny, transparent bottles in delicate colors. They're like bits of a shattered rainbow. Then all at once, my mother touches my shoulder. And I turn around and I look into her eyes. And I say, Tori. Tori. You see, I tried to leave her, but I still remain more faithful than I intended to be. So, I do anything that I can do to escape her. I reach for a cigarette. I grab a drink. I run to the nearest bar. I speak to anybody. Anything that will get rid of her and the memory of her. For the world she lives in is quite different than the world I live in, and she doesn't quite understand. For nowadays, the world is lit by lightning, if you'll understand that. Some of you will and some of you won't. And I beg of you to blow your candles out. Thank you.